You bought us Taco Bell.
Eric, honestly, that was a sincere gesture.
Navigating a dollar menu to get the most bang for your buck can be a little like knowing the secret password to get into that underground club, and no restaurant has more effectively put its dollar menu to good use than Taco Bell. So here are the top 10 untold truths of Taco Bell's dollar menu.
I'd like, how do you say taco in Mexican?
Taco.
Yes, that's exactly the word I want to translate.
Taco.
It predates McDonald's dollar menu.
No, I came here first.
You'd be forgiven for assuming McDonald's did it first, considering they are the Simpsons of fast food restaurants, but Taco Bell actually has the edge when it comes to affordable food. In fact, its original attempts at a value menu were even cheaper. In 1989, 2 years before McDonald's even toyed with the concept, Taco Bell began offering menu items for as little as 59 cents. The menu was fairly simplistic, but it served as a precursor to what we currently have at our disposal. The menu's first commercials aired with the promise that customers could get a taco for 59 cents, a supreme taco for 79 cents, and a big beef taco for 99 cents. With inflation rates, these numbers would be a little more than $1. But at the time, it was a fairly big risk. It was launched as a strategy to create a perception that the restaurant offered the cheapest fast food on the market. One industry consultant loved the idea's simplicity, noting that there tended to be a lot of confusion with menus, often with different items costing oddly priced amounts. With Taco Bell, you knew what you were getting. By all accounts, the gamble paid off, with Taco Bell becoming the best performing chain restaurant in the country.
I don't think I need to see the other exhibits. First prize!
Not all Taco Bells have a dollar menu.
Problem?
If you should find yourself at one of the rare Taco Bell locations that does not feature a dollar menu of any kind, continue to search further. Social media reports seem to confirm that most airport locations do not offer a dollar menu, as well as some locations near universities. But there's no real rhyme or reason as to why that we've been able to find to clearly outline a basis for which locations do and do not offer the cheapest option. So it pays to do your research.
Prank or study. Prank or study.
You would think that any location catering to the college crowd would make a dollar menu a top priority. If anyone needs some cheap eats, it's all the students out there trying to make ends meet.
2 for 1 cent pure frozen entree. How about that?
The joys of menu hacking.
Programs hacking programs.
It may not come as much of a surprise that the key to mastering a dollar menu to really maximize its full potential is that you have to know the ins and outs of cost benefit. To the untrained eye, when it comes to Taco Bell's menu, it may seem like a mishmash of tasty treats to get on the run, but to the true connoisseur, one could easily paint a vast canvas of a meal. There's no shortage of handy guides online that will help you organize your order to create the best, most lavish dining experience you can possibly get on couch cushion money. And we recommend you cycle through a few. Find the right combinations to customize your plate. Part of the fun in doing this isn't so much the knowledge that you've saved money, but so you can feel like you outsmarted the system, reconfigured it to meet your requirements, bent it to your will, so to speak. Ultimately, we know this isn't true. The power the customer wields is fairly relegated to pointing and clicking, but there is some pleasure in feeling as if you took a multi-billion-dollar business for a ride.
I'm a businessman with a business plan.
Dollar menu origins.
Invaders! Possibly from space!
It's no surprise that Taco Bell didn't have an easy time landing in America. Like many immigrants, it had trouble finding its footing. The primary struggle was convincing Americans that Mexican food wasn't that much of a stretch from what they were used to eating. They had the Latino community, but convincing the rest of the country that the cuisine wasn't too spicy from their normal diet would take work. Worse, the company was resorting to Hispanic stereotypes, cartoon sombreros, and mariachi bands to promote their product. John E. Martin, who took over the company in 1983, saw only one solution: make the prices so low customers would have to be crazy to resist.
Sure could go for 100 tacos right about now.
From there, his plan to win over the hearts and minds of the country and prove that tacos were just as tasty as burgers would just fall into place. While Martin's overall plan was in the right direction, it wasn't well developed. A single taco that should have cost 79 cents went for 39 cents. So while transactions were exceeding even the most optimistic potential future, their profit margins were crashing. The launch of the value menu was actually an increase in price slowly, raising them to the correct margins over time. By 1990, the prices were adjusted correctly, business was moving at a clip, and money was finally coming in. Their operating profits had been upped by 26%. As for the rest of the rebrand, it was only a matter of time before Taco Bell succumbed to more floral coloring and even more stereotypical marketing. From there, it was just a few steps to a talking chihuahua.
Hello, friend.
Cost is not always less.
Children, so naive.
One would assume items are relegated to a dollar menu to accompany other equally priced items to create a custom meal that is cheaper than whatever generic combo the restaurant traditionally offers. But to assume this completely negates where a dollar menu is most effective business-wise. In 2014, Taco Bell began offering the Cravings Dollar Menu, which included 11 popular items for the flat rate of $1, plus tax, unless you're in Delaware. Even those in the car who may not be fans of Mexican cuisine could enjoy snacks like cinnamon twists and more American offerings like the cheese roll-up. While it may be less expensive to put such items on a dollar menu, it actually increases their price by a penny. Granted, this isn't exactly much of an increase, considering Wendy's and McDonald's were busy putting $2 items on their dollar menu, and given how much we all perk up when it comes to savings, the difference is noticeable. Most customers may not have noticed, but some have caught the dark, twisted secret and not really cared, quite honestly.
I've seen too much.
Dollar or value menu?
That's a tough choice.
In December of 2018, Taco Bell finally accepted the fact that they had to make some adjustments. The Cravings Dollar Menu, now under the control of Yum Brands, dropped the word dollar and subbed in value, which is never a good sign. Anything that suggests a lack of transparency is never going to side with the old maxim of the customer never failing in judgment, and this was no exception. Customers noticed rather glaringly obvious $5 tacos right next to their preferred cheap fix, but this came as little surprise. No amount of PR could change one irrefutable fact: McDonald's still sets the rules, and Taco Bell followed.
Here, follow me.
Taco Bell's announcement of their revamped value menu was loaded with quotes from high-level executives about the care they put into what the menu means to a customer, but it was clear they were following the trend of competitors. The previous year, McDonald's launched the $1, $2, and $3 value menus, offering a new echelon of variety, each leveled at a cost. Interestingly, McDonald's strategy wasn't all that much of a success, but that didn't change competitors from also revamping just what they were willing to charge for certain luxuries.
But tonight we're competitors.
Taco Bell breakfast for $1.
I always tell you, breakfast is a big boy's most important meal of the day.
Until McDonald's recent push to serve breakfast all day, the industry looked at the most important meal of the day as something best dealt with at the home front, offering fairly limited breakfast options that ended strictly at 10 a.m. and worked best as quick on-the-go meals caught between airport departures. But just like McDonald's Szechuan sauce being called for by Rick and Morty fans, so too was breakfast being demanded to be served for longer.
Sorry, sir, we stopped serving breakfast.
Taco Bell took notice, and today their dollar menu is special. To date, they are the only major chain to offer items from the breakfast menu for $1. None of McDonald's McValue menu is under $1 for breakfast, nor at Wendy's. As for Burger King, it only has 3 value breakfast items compared to Taco Bell's 5. We imagine that when Demolition Man's prognosticated franchise wars do begin, the shot heard round the world will be grounded on the battlefields of the breakfast breakfast table. It's the only legitimate answer to the lingering question of just how Taco Bell was the sole surviving company after those brutal days.
I'm a survivor.
Taco Bell dollar menu success.
Win.
With the possible exception of dollar stores, which are often falsely advertised based on the name alone, Taco Bell has benefited more than any other company from their dollar menu. We mentioned the uptick the menu had made to business profits in 1989, but since then, the menu has increased business a total of 35%. This could further enforce Taco Bell's stability, as many fast food restaurants are struggling. Just this year, even Subway has seen a 25% drop in foot traffic, and that's before factoring in the untold damage the various global lockdowns will cause.
I hope you're wearing masks.
Sometimes.
So how does Taco Bell manage to stay in business despite these unpredicted restraints? Fairly well, actually. They were well prepared long before word of any virus caught the airwaves in the US. In 2018, the dollar menu was stacked with 20 items at the set price. The next year, the addition of $5 items on the value menu was complemented with cheaper versions of other popular items like the double chalupa. As a result, Taco Bell doesn't fear for much in the coming years.
It's not a big deal.
Welcoming vegetarians, vegans, and others.
I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on an all-carb diet.
It may be a long time coming before we see plant-based meat products on the dollar menu at Taco Bell, but considering the success the products have been having at other restaurants such as Burger King, there's probably no escaping this inevitable future. As we worry more about what we put in our bodies, and as meat costs, production, care, and abuse raises concern amongst even the most casual animal lover, when presented with the facts, plant-based meat that actually approximates the taste of the real McCoy appears to be the way of the future.
Out of the way, you!
And Taco Bell hasn't been dismissive of this. Just last year, their labs began experimenting with food more suited to customers who abstain from meat for one reason or another. While the country may not have everyone on board with the trend, there really is no denying the potential it has to sweep across the nation. For just as there will always be a place for die-hard old-school meat eaters who can't get enough of it, so too will there be a market for sensible, cautious diners worried about what enters their digestive tract.
I find it very uncomfortable.
I love eating.
The limited time offer.
That offer was for a limited time only.
No customer really enjoys being informed that they only have a limited time to try or purchase an item. The entire marketing strategy, while effective, tends to reek of a cash grab. Disney Studios attempted this with DVD releases of their classics, almost as though it were a veiled threat that they'd lock them back in the Disney vault. Why? What is the customer meant to experience with such a ploy? Essentially, the company is acting maliciously. Nevertheless, we fall victim to the limited-time stunts run by fast food restaurants all the time.
Why is it always me?
And Taco Bell is no exception. There is something to be said, however, for the ingenuity they put forth in their limited offers. When an item on the dollar menu is described as being sold for a brief window, at least it's given the royal treatment it deserves. Rarely do new additions to dollar menus spark internet fire, but last year, Taco Bell was at the center of such controversy when it unleashed the double-stacked taco. Fans of the item, when it was on the more premium menu, lamented its sudden and mysterious disappearance, calling it the best item the restaurant has yet to offer. That all changed, however, last May, when Taco Bell announced the double stack would return, but in dollar form. That Taco Bell seized this moment to launch the limited offer has left fans wondering whether or not the double stack would become akin to McDonald's occasionally released McRib, something the item has been compared to favorably on more than one occasion. Nevertheless, it's now your dollar menu, sage customer. Use it wisely. Hungry for more? Tap on that screen for more great videos, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad.